That was the sound of the jar of names. I broke the jar of names again, as always happens. Alright, get a name. Okay, we have one. So this video is for everyone, including but not excluded to Ms. Natalil. And if you want to get your name in this jar of names, all you have to do is keep commenting on these videos on Cupboard Adventure. And yeah, right then. So, hello, we did the jar of names. So this is the cup of tea. This is a Cup of Tea podcast. This is the cup of tea. And this right here is the podcast. Right, so before we get onto the skip list, we'll say goodbye to November 2016, because next week it'll be December, the month of Christmas. Anyway, you can head down to my skip list if it's there. It might not be, but you can skip to this week's update, this week's topic, this week's book club, this week's question, and this week's goals update. Right. So we had a little bit of a video schedule delay this week because of... how did it happen? I think I rendered the final Bastion video, but unfortunately I didn't have enough space on my hard drive, so it didn't work. So then I had to try and do it again, and then I had to do the Assassin's Creed video, which I did. But obviously that was late because the other one was late. And then we had some problems with the pointing episode as well. The pointing episode, I don't know what, there was a clip in there that corrupted, it just cancelled the rendering whenever it got to a certain point. I had to try and find out where it was. I got rid of some parts and just put in the database image on that instead of the actual pointing video. It turns out that wasn't even the place where the corruption was, but it was corrupted because I saw some green, the green sort of graphical glitches. But it was a different point in the video, which I then found out early last night. So this morning I uploaded it, and obviously now we're back on track. But yeah, that happened. But yeah, just to let you know, that was a bit poopy. That's what happened. But big news is we finished Bastion last week. It was a very good ending, a very good Let's Play. I'm a big fan of these games. I'm really looking forward to, like I said, Pyre, which is Supergiant Games' newest game, I think. They've also released another one called Transistor. So since I really love Bastion, I'm probably going to check out Transistor as well sometime in the future, as well as that Pyre, because that Pyre looks amazing. It's like a... would say it's a point and click. I don't know if it's a point and click, but it's got those elements where you have to talk to people in a point and click style, which is really good. I'm going to check that out later on in life. Yes, but that is it. We've got a new Let's Play this week, which is Dishonored. We announced it in the new Let's Play video on Thursday. Looking forward to this one. Obviously the new one's out, which is why I was the hint 2 podcasts back. Horror got it right. Well done. I think you did suggest it a while ago actually as well, saying that it will be good to play. Well, no, you said that was the only stealth game you would watch, and when you said that, I was like, because I knew what was coming. Yes, still on the fence about how I'm going to play it. I think I might just do it as killing. It doesn't really matter who I kill, as long as I don't get detected, because that's how Horror wants me to play it, and it'll be interesting to do it that way, I suppose. But yeah, I feel like I wanted to do it with no killing, but apparently that's really hard, and I thought, do you know what, I want to do it because I need to get the trophy, but Horia says it will be difficult and sort of doesn't advise it. So what I'm just going to do instead is I'm just going to play through the game once, as you do, killing as many as I want to do, trying to get a few killing trophies and a few other bits of trophies as well, but I'm going to remain undetected. I don't think there's a trophy for that because the trophy for it is without killing as well, but I feel like this will be an interesting way to play, I think. I'm also going to do the Poetic Justice trophy, which is where you get certain kills on certain targets for special ways of doing it, and obviously a full completion playthrough because I like completing things. So all blueprints, bone charms, and blueprints. I said blueprints, paintings. That's the other one, because obviously I assume you get money from the paintings. I'm not sure, but we'll find out. I'm sure Horia will let me know. Let's go on now to the topic. We can talk about this week's names. Right, so this is the podcast. This gets uploaded every Monday. Sometimes it's late. We also have tomorrow night, so later today, a Assassin's Creed 3 video called Cup of Tea, Father, which is a reference to a certain English TV show back in the day. And then Tuesday, we have the first Dishonored video, which is not recorded yet. We're going to record this after this podcast. So if you're watching this when it came out, this podcast, I'm probably recording the first Dishonored, so if you're on PlayStation, you'll probably see me playing it. Obviously, you can send me a message, but it won't pop up in the video because I turned that setting off. And it's called Dishonored on You. And remember, the first title is linked to the last title, so think about what that reference is and see if you can guess what the last one will be. Wednesday, we've got Assassin's Creed 3 video called Fetch Quest. Basically, this week in Assassin's Creed, it's all homestead missions because it's great and amazing and it's fantastic. There's even 2 I have to do next week as well, which we'll see later on. Anyway, moving on. Thursday, we've got another Dishonored video. Don't know what it's called yet because, like I said, I'm going to record it after this. I'm slightly flying through these a bit more now, actually. We've got an Assassin's Creed 3 video on Friday called Cold Feet or Newlyweds. I'm not sure which one to go for, but you can probably guess what's going on. I think it may be Cold Feet because it's a bit more cryptic, but it has some sort of sense to it. This week is actually something new. Saturday and Sunday, we're both going to have 2 pointing episodes of Assassin's Creed because there's so much to do. So I'm going to put 2 up because it needs doing. One is called Pointing in New York, and the other one is called Point at New York because we want to finish off New York and then I can start doing the Underground and the Frontier. There's just so much pointing to do that I'm going to have to do 2 episodes. Obviously, if you don't want to watch them, you don't have to. It's just there if you want to. Although that second pointing episode might be database entry free, so it might be more like a normal Let's Play video, but obviously just me doing useless pointless stuff. Hints. Last week's hint was it was a channel lore that started in Assassin's Creed 3. That's not right. Yes, it is. It was actually. Yeah, it was the turnkey turkeys, which I talked about in Assassin's Creed 3. And we did a Thanksgiving video where we made some turkey handprints. This week's hint is it's a remake of an old Christmas video I did on my old channel. On this channel. No, it was on this channel, but it was being uploaded to Couple Adventure. That was it. Yes, so it's one of those ones. So if you can have a look back at those Christmas ones and see which we did and which one do you think I might be remaking this week. But I'll give you a hint. It's not a specific name. It's a very vague name. But we do different things in it. That's just going to confuse you. Sorry about that. Okay then, moving on to the book club. Book club. I haven't actually read my book this week, which has been unusual. But I have been looking at, I looked at this in Pointing, so if you watch Pointing you know about this, but if you haven't then you don't know about this. But I'm reading Paul Richards' Almanac, which is the pages we collect in Assassin's Creed 3. I've actually been reading that in there. They're very lengthy, but the one I read last Pointing episode, the ending was really good. Because it's like, it's obviously Benjamin Franklin sort of like a serial part drama type thing of the events of the world back then. That's how it was sort of perceived in Old English speak. And basically it ends by saying that the whole theme of this one almanac was like, don't try to be too many things at once. Like you can't be a candlestick maker and a baker at one time. You should probably just focus on one of those. And it's basically like the whole message on that was that. And it was a really good quote at the end. I can't remember what it was, but it was really good. So I was actually thinking about how interesting the Paul Richards Almanac actually is. Like it may look like a big wall of text, but it's actually really interesting to read. But obviously you don't have to read it. You can just listen to my audio diary format in Pointing, which is hopefully one of the draws that draws you into Pointing. If not, then obviously you don't watch Pointing, but that's not a problem. You can pick and choose what you want to watch. It's moving on. It's not going as quick as I thought it was going to be. Let's go on to the community section now. Then let's go on to Mention Monday. Right, so we have lots of names this week. We have Horia, Super Dudley, Cage Petty, 40k Warriorman, Dragonlord 55511, Nick Pro, and Max Ravage. So welcome everybody. Hope you had a good week with all the videos, and yeah, I hope you enjoyed it all and stuff like that. Any interesting things you've seen this week? Horia said last week he saw something interesting. I think it was a fan-made Bionicle trailer where it was set in the future, and it's like the bridge of technology and the past and stuff. I did watch the trailer. I did leave a like, but I don't think it would be my sort of film. It's very dark and scary. It wasn't my sort of thing. Okay, let's go on to the Q&A then. So we have 3 questions. One from Cage Petty, who says, what drink would you choose if the world's supply of tea ran out? Right, in reality, it would probably just be water because it's good for you. It's what I drink apart from tea. I also drink lemonade. That's literally all I drink. I don't drink anything else. Oh no, I also drink Tropical Crush. That's about it. Not a very wide selection. I used to drink a lot of Coke, but it's bad for you. And you just get stomach aches. Well, no, it got to the point where I was drinking like a bottle a day. And that's the big bowls, and that's just not healthy. So I stopped completely. And now I drink a bottle of water instead. And tea. And occasionally a 7-Up. Okay, next question from Horia. It says, name that movie. Older sister ruins younger sister's chance to be on nationally televised game show. Other contestants are not so happy. I got this. I was looking at your comment and I was like, what could that be? What could that be? And I got it. It's Hunger Games, isn't it? I've never actually seen the whole of the Hunger Games, but I know that Candace steps in for her younger sister when she was nominated. So I'm pretty sure that's that, because obviously it's a game show as well, I think. It is, yeah, it is. So yeah, I think it's that one. Actually, fun fact here, in college when we were talking about writing scripts, what we're doing at the moment, We had to come up with a log line, I think, or tagline, something like that, summary. And we had to try and think of things, make ones up for other films. And someone read them online. And I know this because he said exactly the same one as what Horia said. It was about Finding Dory. And I was like, you got that online, didn't you? And he was like, maybe. I was like, I knew it. Because Horia's got me in there. He told me. He told me because he'd been doing it with me previously. But that's great, see? It's all these things. It's funny how they all comes around. A great circle of life. It's not what the Lion King told us, where... why am I doing it? Why am I talking about this? It's not important. It's like when the Lion King told us it's the fact that the lion dies, it comes to the grass, the antelope eats the grass, the lion eats the deer, blah, 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 blah. That's not the circle of life. The circle of life is that everything comes around again. What's it called? Coincidences. Always happens again. Okay, next question. Moving on. My Lord of Dragons, Dragon Lord 55511 says, hello, Sir Jedi Twix. Do I have a question and a riddle for you? The question is, what are your opinions on your new Let's Play of Dishonored? Really looking forward to it. Ages ago, I played it very briefly. I didn't even finish the first level. And it just seemed... I didn't like it at the time. I can't remember why. I think it's because I wasn't getting proper into it. It wasn't in my normal gaming situation. It was, different to how I usually play a game. I usually play a game focused with a plan in mind, doing it. And it wasn't like that, so I didn't really know what was going on. But I've loved all of the things I've seen for it. The whole... The setting is not my type of setting, but I think I'll fall in love with it when I play Dishonored. But I'm looking forward to it greatly because... I am looking forward to it. It's a good game. It's had very good reviews in the past. And yeah, it looks really interesting in terms of the theme. Setting, not so much, I don't like, but the theme sounds quite cool. The fact about the bone charms and this guy that gives you magical powers, and it's the whole theme about the song with the whale, which we do the Drunken Whaler. That sort of nautical theme, I like. I really enjoy that sort of thing. But even though I know it's not nautical, it's more rats and more... It's weird to explain, but I think I got it across in those jumble of words. The riddle is, when you need me, you throw me away. But when you are done with me, you bring me back. What am I? Hint, it is the object that you use on a ship whenever you stop at port or on shore to prevent it from tipping and rolling away. It is also very hairy. Oh, it's an anchor! I didn't get that at first. That didn't even come into my mind about anchors because... They're pretty much outdated, aren't they now, anchors? Do they still use anchors? I don't think they do. Do they still use anchors? If they do, it's a different type of anchor. I remember I used to... why am I going on so many tangents today? I remember I had a Playmobil, if anyone remembers that. I had a ship and the anchor was different to what obviously you expect an anchor to look like. It was more modern. So, that's how I know about that. Anyway, let's move on again because we're really falling behind. We can go on to subscribers next. We can. We have gone up by 8 names this week, which makes me think it's a bug. We went from 1,239 to 1,247. And we've got some names. We welcome to the community Stephen Miller, Bradley Shepherd, Drexdorf, Boo Boo Kills 45's channel, and Jeff Pinkt. Some interesting names there. I hope I said them all right. I think I did, which was a very decent thing of me to do. Yes, but welcome to the community. If you have a favourite nautical theme, nautical element, let me know what it is. If you know what that means. Questions. So last week's question was, what animes would you like based on video game series? Series I. Horia jumped in there with, he thinks the first 2 Overlord games would make a great anime, which is quite funny because there is an Overlord anime out there, which I still need to check out. I think I did check out the first episode, and I think I did quite like it, but I just finding the time to watch it because you have to read the subtitles. It's a dub, it's a sub, not a dub. But yes, and then Spudley Dudley said Fallout 4 would make a good anime. There would be lots of random episodes, and it could be called Lone Warrior. Yes, I could also see that too. We're actually got Anime Club this week because I'm trying to do something we were talking about last week, but we'll talk about that later on. Okay, so this week's question is related to this week's goal, which we'll talk about later, but what videos would you like to see on Cup of Adventure in the new year, namely the first 3 months? Can't promise any of these will be taken into account. Obviously, I will take creative decisions myself. This is what I do. But obviously, I do have some suggestions you've already suggested on my suggestions list, so I might take some of those as well. So if you've already mentioned something, I might already have it on my list. But if you have something new, let me know what you'd like to see. Like I said, creative decision does fall down to me, but it'd be nice to see what you've got, and if you've got anything I feel like I could do, I will do it. Well, I do have some ideas, namely new channel icons, because I don't like the one I've got at the moment, so we'll get some new ones. But I've got a good idea for one, and hopefully it'll work out. Okay then, this week's theme, it's not this week's comment this week, it's this week's theme, because it's a selection of names. There's actually 4, but I've only got 3, because I didn't realise the other person. But this week's theme is about people returning and catching up and stuff. We have a returning commenter, Max Ravage, who has come back. He's been away for a while, because he's been busy. But he's basically saying that he's getting better with his situation. He's feeling a lot better now. So that's really good to hear. So that's why I sort of put it in this week's, what sort of sparked this week's theme. Nick Pro's also back. He's also said he's not watching some of the Let's Plays because he finds these games a bit uninteresting, which is totally understandable. Are you going to be watching Dishonored? Let me know, Nick Pro. We also welcome back, I believe, Cage Petty. I'm afraid I don't know you too well, but you're not a new subscriber apparently, so I assume you are coming back. So welcome back. As well as, is it Spudley Dudley I saw earlier? It is Spudley Dudley, who we haven't seen in a while. Or have we? No, I think we did see you last week, actually, didn't we? I would check, but I don't really have time. I'm going to check anyway. But yeah, welcome back, everybody that's been away. And obviously, people that have been here continuously, then you are amazing as well, because you're still around. Cool. I'm just picking up my list to see who was. I'm sure Spudley Dudley's been around. He has been around for a while. Never mind. Sorry, I did forget Mr. Dudley. I forgot. But actually, no, I didn't, because I did remember. See, I remembered in the end. Okay, then let's go on to Anime Club. This is what I wanted to talk about earlier. Last week I mentioned about the anime that I was trying to find, that I saw ages ago, and I can never remember what it was called. 40k Warrior Man sort of suggested maybe it was Sword Art Online, or another one which is like Lost Horizon or something. It's not either of those two, unfortunately. The one that I've got in my head, it was on, I think it was IGN. It was an IGN article about anime of like 2016 or something, maybe 15. I think it was this year, but it could have been last year. And basically, all I can remember in my head, the image for it was in like a forest, and there was 2 people on it. There was like a male and there was like a female, obviously in like medieval sort of ish garb, like a medieval game sort of thing. And they had to, and when you get into this gaming world or something, you had to join up with a clan, which I think are specific to classes. I've been trying to find what it is, so if you know what it is, let me know. I'm trying to find it. I've looked online earlier, I couldn't find anything, and obviously I've got stuff to do, so I can't really mess around with doing that sort of stuff. But if you know what it is by giving that extra bit of information, let me know what it is, because I need to find this. I need to find what it is, because it's annoying me. Anyway, that's that Anime Club. Let's go on to goals. Last week's goal was to finish updating all the documents for the rest of the year. I did some. I haven't finished, unfortunately. I still need to finish 2 more. The Christmas special and my birthday. So I failed, unfortunately, in the goal. But it was a busy week. What happened this week? I had a deadline for something. Plus, obviously, that pointing episode of Assassin's Creed sort of took up a lot of my time, because it was really annoying me. So it obviously took me that half an hour to realise it wasn't working, and it was just, it was annoying. So yeah, unfortunately I didn't miss it, and those are my excuses. Please accept them, because I don't have any others. But this week's goal is because I think I've got quite a busy week ahead, so I've given it a small one. It's basically to do the same thing, finish the documents, but so this doesn't turn into one of those things where I just make the last week's goal this week's goal when I fail it. I've added a little bit more. It's to make a rough plan for Q1 episodes of Cup of Adventure, which is why I've asked the question this week as well. See? All makes sense. But yeah, that's this week's goal. And that's that for this video. It's rather lengthy. I'm sorry. I wanted to ramble, because I haven't done it in a while, and I needed to. Hi everybody, I'm a rambler. Cool, right, I'm now going to go and quickly edit this and then quickly record Dishonored, maybe the other way around, probably the other way around actually, otherwise it'll be too late. And then I'm going to go to bed because I need to get up in the morning and stuff like that. But yeah, so that's that. Actually, I need my list, I got rid of it. Yeah, let's finish this cup of tea. Then I can go get 2 more for Dishonored. A little bit left. There we go then. Right, okay then. So, until the next time we meet, I'll say farewell. Last week's watch film, which I believe, what's the name? Not Gary, it's not Gary, it's Gage. Gage Petty said it was from Home Alone 2. No, it wasn't. Who was it that said it? I'm going to have to find out now. Oh, why do these things keep happening? I need to keep focused on the ball, get things done. It was in the podcast, wasn't it? Of course it was. Where else would it be? I think I accidentally deleted a comment. I'm sorry. It was Spudley Dudley. Yes, it was Spudley Dudley. Oh, sorry, I keep forgetting not to use Spudley Dudley. I'm sorry. Yeah, he said it was from Home Alone 2, which had a cameo from President Donald Trump. Did it? I don't remember. I can't remember if that quote is from Home Alone 2, but the two films I was thinking of were Home Alone, the first one, because I know it was definitely in that one. Not sure about number 2. I'm guessing it was because it was a big quote from the first one. You know how these things work. But the film I actually said about, because I remember saying, it was going to be like a sequel, and you have to be very careful about which one you chose. The actual film it was from, if I can find the name, because it was actually a film in the film that we saw was called Angels with Filthy Souls. That's the film in it. The more you know. If that ever comes up in a pop quiz, there you go. What's the actual film that Kevin watches in Home Alone? Angels with Filthy Souls. This is about 20 minutes long, isn't it? I apologise. Okay then, but this week's... What? Oh no, that's a bit premature. Oh yeah, right, that's it. I need to go now and record Dishonored. Hopefully I won't ramble in it. But yeah, so thank you very much for watching. Until the next time we meet, farewell, and I'll leave you with this week's What Film. Not all treasure is silver and gold, mate.